This is the second video in a series that I'm doing on inspiration. The people who have inspired me greatly. And to my surprise, right now, it's former or current athletes. This particular video is about Kobe Bryant. That man was uncommon among the most uncommon. Coming into the league at just 18 years old, right out of high school, he already had his mind set on being the best of the best. And boy, did he perform. I had to write down some of the things that I wanted to say about him because there are just so many of them. I also want to share with you what I think are the characteristics of the best of the best. Here it goes. Heart. A no give up attitude. Heart, no matter what. Fearlessness. These folks aren't afraid of anything, anybody. Discipline, particularly of the mind. They have great discipline. Work ethic. Kobe Bryant was a tower in his work ethic. He worked harder than anybody else. He was the one who would be down in the gym or the weight room or whatever 2 or 3 hours before it even opened, while everybody else was still sleeping. He would push himself, and then push himself again. His work ethic was just phenomenal. Focus. The ability to keep your focus on that goal and to do whatever you have to do to reach it. Learning. He was always trying to improve, always. He wasn't looking back at his past achievements. He was looking at how am I going to get better. That was what he was always focused on. Determination. That I'm going to get this done attitude. That was always with him. Preparation. He prepared so well that when he got on the court, he was doing things that he had done hundreds of times. Most of you probably know that he nicknamed himself the Black Mamba. And that stood for his striving for greatness at all times. He said that he was going to be disciplined, work harder than anybody else, sacrifice what he needed to, keep a grueling training schedule if he had to. When they would go on trips, you wouldn't find him in the club like a lot of the other players would be. He would be at home studying, at the hotel studying film. He once said, I don't want to work with anybody who's lazy. If you're lazy, you're not my people. I don't want to be around you. Let's go on over there somewhere. One of the things that you might not know about Kobe Bryant is that among his training habits, his curriculum that he made for himself, was meditation. He would also meditate in order to keep his mind or to get his mind where he wanted it to be. I was pretty amazed by how well-spoken this young man was. I've watched a whole lot of interviews that have been done with him, and he is so incredibly articulate and thoughtful and a thinker. And he's also funny. He had fun with his profession. You would see him sometimes doing little dance steps on the court before things started, or the faces that he would make, or the trash talking that he would do. He was one serious dude. And I have so much admiration and respect for him because I think that he is really a very excellent example for young people today, particularly if you're at the beginning of your work life, your life period, and you're just getting out of it on your own. If you listen to some of the things that Kobe Bryant talked about, it will serve you well. I encourage you, please consider doing that. Let me check my notes to see if there's anything else that I don't want to leave out. He surrounded himself with people who had the same passion that he had. Those were the folks that he wanted to talk with. He and Michael Jordan weren't especially close, but they were close enough. And it is said that Kobe is the only person that Michael Jordan ever shared advice with. Shaquille mentioned that he realized in retrospect that he was really treated Kobe badly. And that was one of his biggest regrets, that he didn't spend more time with him, that he didn't acknowledge and recognize more often publicly that he loved this guy, that together they created history. Well, Kobe Bryant is somebody that I think anybody can be inspired by. I hope that you will check him out, check his interviews out, and check his plays out, because he was absolutely over the moon. He's incredible.